Hello everyone. Today I will talk about the project I developed with the support of the team at Clevered. Moving on, I will first introduce myself. I will discuss about the journey with Clevered, then move on to the project, give some examples, and wrap it all up in the conclusion. Talking a bit about myself, I'm Aryan, age 16, currently studying in St. Columba's School, which is an all boys Christian school. I opted to take science to further enhance my skills and also plan on learning a bit about augmented reality in the coming years. I enrolled in Clevered to understand the workings of AI and how we can utilize deep learning to explore datasets, how we could use deep learning and understand neural networks. My hobbies are to understand about technology. I have some interests in acting. I've recently gained an interest in computer science and I like designing. Currently, what I think about is analyzing the potential of quantum computing and also understanding about quantum computing, which is going to be a very important sector in the coming future, which is like within 3 or 4 years. Talking about the journey with Clevered, Abhishek sir's dedication and support were instrumental in developing a project. Abhishek sir always stayed by our side, no matter how late it got. He never stepped down on us and was always ready to help us to understand the project and work on it. Sir always explained complex concepts in such a way that made it easy to understand, no matter how long it took. He wouldn't have it wouldn't have been possible to do this project without him. I would also like to thank my parents, Dr. Ken, and everyone who made it possible to provide me with this experience. Talking about the project, the credit card approval system, the main aim of the project was to declutter the data and convert it into the usable form and train the data accordingly. It is a project developed which helps the user by predicting the likelihood of the person getting a credit card based on various parameters. The main objectives were to organize the data, build and check an accurate model, plot the features like the most important features such as the income, years employed, prior income, and then compiling it and forming the front end code. Moving on to the actual interface of my code, this is the home screen which pops up when you run the code or the program. This is the home screen where the predict status helps you to make the prediction, and the about us gives us the credits on how and who helped in what. This was all made by using the library tkinter. Moving on, these are the examples. On on this side of the screen, you can see this is the approved. These are some on the left and right. No, okay. Moving on, these are the examples. On the left and right hand of the screen, you can see some attributes or parameters which we need to fill in order to get the response. On this side of the screen, we can see that we have the input. 3, 2, 1, stop. Moving on to the examples, here on the left and right hand of the screen, you can see the parameters it takes for the assessment by the trained model, which is only in the float or integer values. On this side of the screen, we can see that that some values have been inputted. No. Moving on to the examples, talking about the input it takes, the parameters it takes for moving on to the examples, the parameters it takes for assessment on the trained models are moving on to the examples on the left and right hand on the screen. You can see some inputs given as the parameters it takes for assessments are only in the float or integer values. Using the input and then using the random forest classifier, it would suggest whether the data has been improved or not. Like on this side, we can see the data, the on based on the parameters, the person could be approved with the mentioned credentials, while on this side, the person is not improved. As we can see, some more things that I would like to add, which I haven't, were some radio buttons, which are like buttons which give you some options, which would make it easier for the user to fill in the information, which I would add on in the future iterations. And with that, I conclude and I would thank